Often when we bump into pregnant or expecting moms, our first question is it a boy or is it a girl? And oftentimes they'll say whether it's a boy or a girl, or they're saying, we're waiting. But the most important thing for every parent is that they have a safe, healthy baby. And they will go to the ends of the world to ensure that this happens. They take their vitamins, they limit their caffeine. But what a lot of people don't know is that the new trend of home birth, if you're doing this, it is not the safest option for your baby. The first thing that I'm going to talk about is education, midwifery versus an OBGYN. An article found online written by Kelsey, MD, states, midwifery training is based solely on the reproductive care of women, with the specific intent of supporting women through pregnancy and labor, as well as prenatal and postnatal care and breastfeeding support. While an OBGYN has gone through 4 years of formal medical school, 4 years of medical residency that involves surgical training, and an additional 3 years in an obstetrics and gynecology-based residency. Now, that's a huge difference, and I know that if it was my child, I would want the most qualified care provider. Now, this is a picture of a home birth. The next topic that we'll be talking about is location and environment. And as you can see, a home birth, the location and environment, there is the parents and of course the baby, any family members you want, but the only medical person that you're going to have is going to be the midwife. And their only procedure when something is to go wrong is to call 911. That's all they can do. They can't perform a C-section or do anything past CPR. But sometimes, unfortunately, the medical personnel do not get there fast enough. I'm going to share with you a story about Danya, a woman who lost her baby. This story was provided by the website Burned by Midwifery. Now, Danya's baby had a condition called dystocia. Her shoulders prevented her from coming out of the womb. This almost always is an okay case, and it turns out okay in a hospital with the use of a C-section. But in her case, for the time that it took for the ER to get there, after her midwife had called, the baby was left brain dead and died at just 2 days old due to lack of oxygen. Now that is scary. This is a picture of the device used to check the baby's heart rate. It is called a fetal Doppler, and this is just used with home birth, not hospital. At hospital, you have a belt that is strapped around you, and it monitors the heart rate. This is the difference. This simply checks the heart rate once. The monitor is constantly monitoring your heart rate. With my first labor, the fetal Doppler would not have worked. 1 minute, my baby's heart rate was completely fine, and the next minute it was plummeting down to 0. The only thing that could help was the nurses telling me to turn over, and then her heart rate would go back up. Sadly, if I was to have a home birth, my child would not have survived. And this is a picture of a hospital C-section. As you can see, the woman is surrounded by medical personnel and people who know what they're doing and are trained in surgical procedures. A lot of people still believe that the things that happen with Danya and myself are all just flukes, and that home birth is just as safe as hospital. But in an article provided by ABC News from a study done by New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell Medical Center, the largest study of its kind, they found babies born at home are 10% more likely to be stillborn. Just from that alone, I would never give birth at home. And lastly, I would like to show everybody this picture. It is a picture of a nurse taking care of a baby in a NICU, and many hospitals are equipped to take care of babies even 24 weeks and on, and that is not provided at home births either. So when thinking about things that you can do to keep your baby safe and healthy, please always think about the hospital. Never give birth at home. It is simply not safe. It is comfort over the safety of your baby, which I don't think any mother would want. Always choose what is safe and best for your baby. Thank you.